Good evening, Warriors! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well. I figured I'd do another one before end the evening here. And hope you guys are on your purpose, your goals. Hope you guys are going through and battling every day and going through and conquesting everything, including yourselves. And that's the number one thing. To always continue battling, never give up. We've had lots of great comments and people talking about they've relapsed at times, but never give up, my friends. Keep battling on. I think we have a lot of people who are understanding the concept of bettering yourself. They understand the concept of trying to be the best person you can be for God, your God, and to understand that it's important not only to focus on the physical of what's going on, but more importantly, the things outside the physical that are really more important, and that's the spiritual and your soul and how to control what God has given you to some level to be able to make good for society and the world around us. So when we talk about this, let me give you a couple of shout outs before we do this. Hamza RedfieldZ, thank you, Hamza. SavageL, thank you. Coderlicious, thank you. Jon the Dawn, always thank you, my friend. CS, Mike Palmeri, thank you. Junior talked about the fact that I look like Forrest Gump. I think it's a good thing. I'm not sure, but Forrest is always top of things. I'm not sure if he retained or not. That's something we have to look up. I'm not positive. Fresh start. You're exactly right, Fresh start. Age is not relevant. I've done a few of these on this already, and going back to Kelder's Fountain of Youth, which I tend to talk about at least a little bit every episode we have. The age is not that important. And I tell you that because women react, and even though it's not that important in the long run, as a few of you guys are stating that, sex and women are not that important. And it really isn't. It really is in the long term of things. And it's kind of ironic that I do talk about women's attraction a lot. In fact, you don't want women's attraction. It becomes more of a nuisance, right? And something that you have to kind of fight against. The reason we talk about so much is because it's really a prevalent issue in our society. This is the pornography. This is talking about imagery. This is talking about all those things that kind of tempt men. And obviously having a solid relationship with a young lady, getting married, having children, that's all in God's plans. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this issue where men have trouble controlling themselves because they get brainwashed into looking at all these pictures, and society wants them to have sex all the time, intercourse, this kind of stuff. And so this is why we talk about this. This is really a major problem in our society. And what it's doing, it's milking our young men and milking them dry till they become simps, and they become people who don't have any kind of power or staying power to do anything, and they sit around, doing nothing, and not helping society out, and just kind of wasting their time. And obviously they can't protect and provide, and so they become men that are very, very weak, and we don't want that. We want men that are very strong to be able to protect our country, to provide, and to be there when we need men to be strong and to fight for the causes of our towns and cities and states and countries. So, but Fresh Start, you're right, age is not irrelevant. I think that women, for instance, again, yesterday, just amazing to me, all the level of attraction that I see that comes to my door all the time. And it doesn't really matter what it is. They know how old I am. They all know that, even they know I'm married all these years. I mean, they know that. Women cannot help themselves because biologically they're attracted to that energy level you have. They realize a man who's on his purpose, a man who doesn't care about those things, who cares about trying to do well for his God, for society. Women can sense that, and they want to be around that kind of person because they love that energy. And this is what we talk about all the time. So Fresh Start, you're right, age is not really relevant at all. Alan talks about no mask. Yes. Idea, guys, is the fact that there is no mask in our society. We don't, this is the reality of the situation, is really not the physical, but it's the spiritual. And that's kind of what we need to look at. And a lot of times we miss that because we're taught too many other things. And also Alan talks about other types of things. So saying thank you, Alan. Alan's got a couple good points that I think we're going to talk about as we go through. So Billy Mainwaring, thank you. Jama, and Cecilio, less sleep needed with semen retention. You're exactly right, my friend. And Task Force 6, women's language. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then Stephen Akerley, a new member. So welcome, Stephen. Welcome aboard. All right, so at 5:23, let's talk about a topic. Our topic is Mark G. Connor is talking about hard times create hard warriors, and soft times create soft warriors during semen retention. How right you are, Mark. How right you are, my friend. So the old saying is the same old saying that you need to go through hard times to be able to be a warrior. And what do we mean by that? Well, not that you're going to force yourself to have hard times, but the more you can go into hard times, the more you can handle it. And that's where the key is. You can handle those tough times because you've gone through them. You know it's not the end of the world. You know you're not going to die off. You know you're going to live to fight another day the next day. And so you keep battling. And you keep battling. And if you happen to, pass away, well, you wouldn't know anyway. So the fact that you're still alive every day means that you can continue to battle on. And so when you go through tough times that these are just passing moments. The Bible talks about this all the time. This too shall pass. No difficulty you have, warriors, is going to last forever. Life is, in my book, like a cycle. Up and down. Up and down. Frank Sinatra had a song like that one time called Cycles, way back in the 50s, I think. Everything goes up and down. You may have some bad, hard times. Things may not be going correct, but just wait a while. It's going to get better. Because this is the way the world tends to be. And we tend to be this way all the time. Now, we tend to focus on the negative, which is our society is very famous for. But really what you should be focusing on is on a positive and how grateful you are for the Lord to be giving you all these things and to being, blessing all these blessings upon you. But we need to have hard times, right? People who don't have hard times and understand those are just needed, and they're really not hard times. What they are is opportunities to grow. Every failure is a success is a seed for a next success. I think Napoleon Hill, in his famous book Think and Grow Rich, said that. Every failure is just the seed of another success. And we talk about that with Thomas Edison, a lot of these people over the years who basically have failed or thought they failed only to succeed. And most people, they will succeed right at the time of their biggest so-called failure, because they turn it around and all of a sudden this becomes a success. This is why a lot of people who make a lot of money, it's only because they're continuing to be perseverant. They're continuing to strive. I think the people who make the most money in real estate are the ones who go back to clients 4 and 5 times, refuse to say no. Those are the people who are disciplined, who continue to be perseverant. And those type of things, you can't replace that type of behavior. And so when you look at trying to be someone who has been through those tough times, they realize that you're going to be rejected. The best writers in the world get rejected many, many times. The best quarterbacks make the Hall of Fame. They have more incompletions than they do have completions, of course, right? I mean, they probably have more interceptions than touchdowns. All those are so-called negative things, but they still have persevered. They still block it out in their minds, and they keep going straight ahead. So I think Sim was the other person who mentioned something today about habits you can form. Well, the biggest habit, warriors, you can form is to never take failure as a defeat. Look at it as an opportunity to understand what's happening. Look at it as an opportunity to see what can I do to change, make those changes, and keep moving forward. Now, how does it affect semen retention? Well, of course, we know that you are stronger when you have the nutrients inside of you. You could deal with tough times better. A lot of the new generation of people we have now, they need like cry rooms and all kinds of other kind of nonsense that I see because they can't handle defeat. They can't handle not getting what they want. And this is a weak mind. Weak mind. You know that you will succeed. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of when, not if. And this is the type of stuff that we have to continue to focus on. You cannot give up the battle. When it comes to retention, the same thing applies. You need to continue to understand that this is a life battle and that you're going to have ups and downs. But like a few people mentioned today, just because you release doesn't mean the game is over. I released many, many times in 47 years. But I kept fighting. And now I'm at 1,000, 5-10 days. And I have no reason to do it right now at all. You know? And so the bottom line is you're growing and you're getting stronger by the minute. And that power you have inside of yourself, that power is something that you can never replace. So you take that power and you say, let's build some habits. Let's build some habits of perseverance. I'm never going to give up. You only fail, my friends, warriors, if you give up. And a lot of people do. They get rejected by other women and they give up. Or they get said no and they just give up. But remember, guys, the key thing is you have to continue being and striving for excellence as a warrior. Strive to get better each day. I don't care if it's physical, weightlifting, working out. I don't care if it's intellectual, reading, looking at research, figuring out what's going on in the world around you, or it's spiritual, having daily conversations with your God, being on the same page of what the purpose is. These things all build you day by day. And the stronger you are, the stronger you can push aside those so-called failures and just move on and try again. Try another approach. Try something else. So mentally, that's the first habit you got to get up in the morning and say, I will not fail. I will not fail at anything I do. I will succeed at everything I do. Those are the affirmation statements you should make in the morning. If you're having a depression, anxiety problems, in the morning, get up every morning and say, I like myself. I like myself. If you think that's crazy, think about it. The more you talk to yourself about this, the more you convince yourself that you are a true warrior. And it starts up here. It starts in here. This is where it starts. The physical part is just a manifestation of what it looks like after your mind is solid and strong, mentally tough. Don't let other people push you into other things. You know, I see some crazy things over the years. Remember 1979, I think it was Jim Jones. He got a bunch of people to drink Kool-Aid to kill themselves. How ridiculous, 900,000 people? How can they possibly do that? Up here, my friends, up here. Warriors, think about it. Don't fall for temptation just because a woman's got her legs showing. Don't fall for that stuff. Remember, in the long term, what are the consequences? What are the rewards of being with anybody and releasing? You'll find there are none. Unless you're trying to procreate. If you're trying to have children with a young lady, that's a little different game. But that's a commitment level that's a lot different. You won't have trouble with retention at that point. But that's something you have to think about as you go along. So, my friends, it is important to realize we need to be hard-nosed warriors. With all the crazy battles going on, with all the nonsense that's out there, the wokeisms and all this other kind of nonsense out there, we need to be tough mentally. Don't fall for this nonsense. Be strong to your God. Be strong with someone mentally, physically, and spiritually. And be a leader. Be someone that builds habits. Builds habits of success. Don't stand for failure. Don't stand for someone who's going to tell you they should be telling you what to do. You are strong enough to be able to do the things you feel are right because you're a leader. And that's important. All right, again, thank you to Sims. Thank you to Mark G. Connors and the rest of you guys. Great topic. Remember, hard times, my friends, build hard warriors. And remember, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And that's why we always talk about being tough. Because the main thing is you need to continue to battle on and battle on again. Have a great night, warriors.